We want to find the inverse function of a square root function that's been transformed. And first I'm going to draw a little sketch of the graph of this function. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has been moved 5 to the right, it's been reversed, and it's been moved 5 up. So it looks like that. The inverse of a function has been reflected over the line y equals x. So my inverse should look something like this. Now here's where domain and range become very important. I have two ways to find the inverse of f, and I'm going to use both. I can begin with x. So to get f of x, I begin with x, I negate it, I add 5, I take the square root, and then I add 5 again. So to find f inverse of x, I'm going to begin with x, and I'm going to undo these operations in the reverse order. So x minus 5, square it, I added 5, so subtract 5. I negated it, that's its own inverse. And, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, that's it. So f inverse of x is negative x minus 5 squared plus 5. Using the algorithm, I replace f of x with y. I solve for x. Oh, no, I interchange x and y. I solve for y, so first I subtract x from both sides. And then I'm going to square both sides. And then I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. And I'm going to multiply both sides by -1 or divide both sides by -1. It's the same thing. And that is f inverse of x. And you can see right here, I got the same function rule for either one of those. Now here's my problem. This is a parabola with vertex 5, 5, and opening downward. Right? Quadratic function. And that is clearly not what my inverse needs to be. So here's what we need to look at. The domain of f is negative infinity to 5. Right? It stops right here and it goes as far as we want to the negative. And the range of f is equal to, starts at 5 and goes up as far as I need it to. 5 to infinity. And the range of f is the domain of f inverse. So this is the correct inverse function rule, but it only exists for x from 5 to infinity. And if we look at the little sketch that I drew to begin with, you can see it starts at 5, starts at 5 and moves this way, so 5 to infinity. And that's the reason this domain and range thing is so important.